When did you realize you married the wrong person? Story number 1. One of the first was when I realized she didn't trust me. We had been together around 10 years at this point, but I had a moment of clarity and literally said to her, "You don't trust me, do you?" Before she could answer, I said, "You don't trust anybody," and she agreed. She would routinely throw the kids out of the tub and the bathroom completely naked because they splashed her while getting a bath, and not just that, she would yell at the top of her lungs at how bad they were. The kids were around to 2-4 at the time. God forbid the toddler splashes the water in the tub. Another time, I don't even remember the cause, but I tried to play mediator. As an okay daughter, you did something wrong, let's apologize to mommy, and she would. Then I'd ask mommy to apologize to our daughter. For her role, and mom absolutely refused to apologize. I've known this lady more than 20 years, and I've never heard her apologize, literally never. The final straw was when one of our kids wanted a hug goodnight before bedtime. She locked herself in her bedroom and refused the hug. Because she had hugged them earlier in the day, kids were crying. They didn't understand. I was devastated watching this unfold. Why doesn't mom want to hug me? I try my best to not let it impact me, but we share custody now, and I have to watch how she interacts without kids. It's hard. The best consolidation is the kids are getting older and they're starting to figure it out. Story number 2. When I realized that my wife loved playing FFX4 to the neglect of our own relationship. She loved it so much. She had had a problem with obsessively playing World of Warcraft in the past, and we broke up over it, and she quit the game cold turkey and got a job, so we made up. And then we got married, and not long after the marriage, she was back into the gaming. But now it was FFX4, and we never had any quality time as a couple to just talk. All she ever wanted to do in her free time was drink wine and play her game. My wife was an alcoholic. She died recently, and in the course of going through her things, I found out why. Her iPad message history revealed that she had had a whole string of in-game boyfriends the whole time we were together 12 years. Lots of sexting messages I found, and the night she died, she was excited and happy because she just married her current boyfriend in-game, but she partied a little too hard that night and drank herself to death. I messaged one of her guild mates to find out what happened. Turns out, no one ever knew she was married in real life. She never talked about me, but she sure did flirt with a lot of guys when she was drunk. And the guy she married in-game was, himself, married in real life. We live in the US, but she liked to play on European servers and meet European guys. And I had been on a business trip to Germany for a week the night she died. She was so angry at me for not taking her with me, but it was a business trip and not a vacation. I realize now that what she really wanted was an opportunity to fuck her Italian boyfriend while I was at work. She had the Duolingo app on her phone to learn Italian, and her browser history showed that she had been looking up Italian cooking recipes my wife never cooked, so she was clearly thinking about an in-person meet-up at some point. I was grieving the loss of my wife when I found all of this out, and now I'm dealing with a lot of anger, too. If she hadn't died, and somehow I found this out, I'd be divorcing her ass right now. Story number 3. It was actually such a small thing that made me click I married the wrong person looking back. Our whole relationship was horrible, but it was this event that made me click my choices. As a bit of backstory, I was ridiculously depressed, so I had gained a fair bit of weight. And he knew I was extremely insecure about this, as I had a severe eating disorder as a teen. And despite my then size, my brain was still programmed to think the same, and I was very sensitive about any remarks about my weight. My husband and I also have birthday one after the other. His was first and mine was second. I had expressed that I felt every time our birthdays come around I feel forgotten, as we'd have a party or an event on his birthday and make a big deal about it. And he'd only turn the attention on me after midnight and bring out his now half-eaten cake, with mostly burned-out candles, and sing me happy birthday. That was only if we had a party, if we had an event. We do his birthday events and then my birthday. He'd just give me an unwrapped gift. And that was that, despite me making an effort in his birthday every single year. He knew how I felt, so we decided to go away to a historical city in my county. We were both massive history buffs, so it was right up our alley. We had a lot of fun and spent the first few days looking around to decide what we wanted to do on our birthdays, and agreed to arrange something for each of our birthdays. The city has a lot going on, and I pointed out a few things that I'd like as a surprise for my birthday. But I ultimately wanted to go see the local church, which was quite famous, as well as an exhibition of Richard III, literally a stone's throw from our hotel room. He agreed with this and set out where he wanted to go on his birthday. His birthday was a success, and I know he still talks about his birthday to this day. We went out to all the places he wanted to do, took him to his favorite restaurant, even brought his presents with him. So he'd have something open on his birthday. And as a surprise, they has a ghost tour around the city on an old hearse bus, something he loved and ended up being his favorite part, as he didn't know it was in town. We went to be happy, and I was optimistic this was going to be a good birthday. As soon as we woke up, he decided he was in a bad mood and grumbling about every place I wanted to go. And I wanted to just have a bit of a lie-in, as I hadn't slept great the night before. But he was getting antsy about wanting to go down for breakfast. I said I wasn't hungry and wanted to just stay in the room a little longer. He then pushes me out of the bed, and I just flop onto the floor as I wasn't being rushed today. A bit bratty, but I just wanted to enjoy having a bit of autonomy on my birthday. He then proceeded to grab me arm and pulled me up and said, "Get up, you lazy lump," and his expression instantly gave away that he knew what he said would hurt me, and it instantly spiraled into me getting upset. Because not only did he say that to me, when he knew it was a sensitive point, but on my birthday, when he eventually calmed me down, he said, "I'm sorry I made you cry. I only said it because I thought it would make you get up faster." So after that we went about my birthday, but instead of doing what I wanted, we went around to every location he wanted to. We were there a week and never got to see the church or the exhibit, which after the event he admitted he didn't want to go and see and admitted. He started the fight knowing I'd be upset, so wouldn't want to do anything or really celebrate. This kinda made me click that my happiness in life was never a priority. Sadly, it still took me another year and a bit before we actually broke up.